You're mistaken. I have him under control. And not just him. They're all eating out of my hand. I regret that Foltest is away at the summit, but I trust you'll tend to the King's Council.
I assume you've resolved matters with Levarden as well.
Yes, I made an offer and he accepted. He claims his superiors had similar plans, but we beat them to it. Men can do nothing but talk and then always claim the initiative.
And how is your Witcher?
I should be able to convince him.
Don't overdo it. Geralt can be exceptionally perceptive.
I know. I must get back. I'll contact you when it's all over.
Never let the Witcher guess what you hide from him.
Triss?
Should you be up? I'd rather make sure you've recovered completely.
How?
Don't worry. This won't hurt a bit.
After Geralt was rescued by Triss and they talk about the recent events that happened in the last 2 chapters, Triss gives right away a task for Geralt to do, placing 3 sensors around Vizima. We are in chapter 3, and probably this is the biggest chapter in the game, where a lot of stuff can happen, with copious amounts of quests and little interesting bits to discover. Right away we begin 4 new quests. The Source, putting Triss as the main participant at a certain point. Later you will understand. A posh reception, a quest involved in a banquet/party in the new Narracot Inn in the Trade Quarter. All the King's Men, a quest that spans over the whole chapter, with the main focus being the Trade Quarter being under martial law, requiring Geralt to be given a pass by Triss so he can roam around freely. And finally, Identity, a quest that will span out to the end of the game regarding Geralt's identity post-amnesia. With all this set, you can roam around. Next to Triss's bed, you'll find a trunk with a book, sorceresses and sorcerers. And going downstairs, inside a bookshelf, you'll encounter the book The Riven Progon. Exiting Triss' house, Geralt will be approached by a guard, and you will request a pass from the Witcher. Thanks to Triss, Geralt can be a free man. Before starting to progress the story, there are some books and scrolls that are required to have so you don't have a hard time progressing through the story. Going to the ramp, you'll encounter a workshop, and conducting the workshop, there's an alchemist who will neglect Coxtine's thesis and work. Honestly, this was trial and error for me, but if you read Coxtine's book and choose the correct option, this can be rewarding. If you indulge in the alchemist's skepticism, you'll need to select the following dialogue options. What do you do? Seriously? Do you have alchemy ingredients for sale? My friend Coxtine considers himself an alchemist. Metamorphosis, not bad. Coxtine denies that all substances are codependent. His hypothesis pertains to primary substances only. Secondary substances don't appear of themselves. The distinction is justified. After transmutation, substances continue to attach and detach from the chain. There are always 6. And, according to Coxtine theories, you could construct a golem. The man will realize that Coxtine is not a fool nor an amateur after all.
I never suspected you harbored such intelligence. Accept these books. You'll use them best.
Thank you. Till next time.
And will gladly reward you with the book Secret of the Southern Masters and the scroll for Sanum, giving you formulas for the bomb, Sanum, and brown oil. At the Art of the Trade Quarter, you'll find various stalls where you can buy and sell stuff, but most important is a bookseller, where we will spend most of our money. I bought the books Swamp Plants, Vampires, Facts and Myths, A Wonderful World of Insectoids, and The Great Book of Minerals. A book that you can get for free can be handed over by the townsman near Triss's house. It will give you the book Phagelagus. Head over to the near Narracot Inn. Near the entrance, you will encounter the usual notice board, where you can find 7 monster contracts. Reading all these contracts, you'll start the quests: the Archport contract, the Gravier contract, the Cockatrice contract, the Flatter contract, the Ghoul contract, the Kikimora contract, and the Wyvern contract. Entering the inn, there will be a lot of stuff to do. First things first, talk with the innkeeper and access your storage. If you have been following along, you should have at least one bar guest call from the first chapter, and the wyvern steaks from the last chapter when we went to the Wyvern Island in the swamp. From killing wolves, you will also got some beast fangs. For the wyvern steak, you can talk with the innkeeper about it, since he was the one who did post the notice. Give them to him, and he will reward you with 200 warrants, finishing the quest. Going to the fish fighting area, you can find your fish fighting opponent in this chapter, Andrew Gabloda.
I'm itching to it.
After defeating him, you can choose as always between 3 rewards: a red meteorite and a rune, an earth rune and another rune, or 300 orens. Choose whatever you feel like, but I went for the orens, getting 500 total with the starting bet. Near the entrance of the inn, you'll encounter our favorite bard, Dandelion, contemplating his life. He lost his special loot and requests Geralt to get it from him. Not sharing any details prior, he indulges in somewhat of a drinking contest with Geralt, so prepare your beers because you'll need around 7 beers to survive the task. Now willing to share the details, he was chased out of the house by Rosalind Penkiera's father, leaving his loot behind. Now he requests Geralt to get the loot because Dandelion doesn't dare to return. This starts the quest, Dandelion's loot. Still near the entrance of the inn, you'll encounter a knight by the name of Patrick DeWays. Talking with him, he will say that his sister is missing, and before disappearing, he found teeth marks on her neck, believing a vampire did that and is trailing his sister.
My sister. Will you hear her story? One day we found her unconscious in bed. Blood trickled from fang marks on her neck. We had no doubts, a vampire.
Fang marks don't necessarily mean a vampire.
These clearly did, for after a time, my sister disappeared. She must have been transformed and then escaped.
If she is a vampire, I'll have to.
Above all, I would like you to find her. Confirm our suspicions.
This starts Blue Eyes. Before leaving, you can talk with the woman that is sitting across from Dandelion. If you have 2 portions of cow's milk and a beer, talk to her and she will tell you some of her grandma's stories, one of which will get you the journal entry for Archiport's and Archiport's juice. You will need to exit and re-enter the inn for the dialogue to refresh. Exit the inn and go uptown. You'll find the Royal Huntsman from chapter 1, and asking about monsters nearby, you will tell that there are 2 new monsters roaming around the swamp, a wolf and a wyvern.
A huge wolf has appeared in the swamp, and the locals claim wyverns steal their children.
Wyverns don't hunt humans without provocation.
Locals, nothing but trouble. They probably tried to drive the wyverns off.
Near the inn and near the street corner, you will see some stairs that will lead down to a door. You will enter a new region of the Vizim sewers. Go around and until you see a hole in a wall. The sewers connect with the Elven ruins and there's a monster nearby, an Alp or a vampire. This location is important for a future quest, but if that is active, this Alp will disappear and be replaced by another monster. Defeat the Alp, and if you have the journal entries for Alps, you'll most likely get an Alp Fang. This Fang will be useful for the what's coming next. You'll find a teleporter near the area where we fought the Alp, and you can teleport to 3 different locations: Triss's laboratory, Calxine laboratory, and the Mage's Tower. We will now go to Calxine laboratory. If you go to the late Raymond's house, you will notice that someone else moved in, a dwarven dentist, Zain Smarts. Talking to him, you will encounter about teeth and wants the teeth for monsters. This starts 1 Earth a bit. This is where all the fangs come in. Right now, you can give him Barghest skulls, beast fangs, flutter fangs, and Alp fangs. If you have been exploring and doing every quest possible like I'm doing in these videos, you will have got them with a lot of ease. Going to the docks, you will encounter a desperate merchant, and talking to him, he will say that he wants Geralt to find a family ring that can be found in a corpse near the shrine of Melitelli in the swamp.
My uncle was slain by swamp monsters. He bore our family ring, which I value greatly.
Bring me the ring for 100 orens.
Accepting this starts the quest, The Ring. Talking with the ferryman and going to the swamp, you will encounter Carmen from chapter 2. She wants to talk with the druids because their man has lycanthropy and wants to know how to be cured.
What's wrong?
I can't bring myself to say it.
You seem distressed and scared. Maybe I can help, but you'll have to tell me what's wrong.
My man... he's sick. I have to help him before it's too late. He's a werewolf and I don't want him killed.
Werewolves are tough to kill, and witchers don't always kill monsters. Whenever possible, we lift curses and spells. How are you planning to help him?
Fat Sophie told me the druids may have a potion I could buy.
That's possible.
Helping her will start the quest Beauty and the Beast. Near the shrine of Melitele, you'll encounter the island full of bloodswiggers. Pay attention when they are low on health because they tend to explode, causing poison damage to Geralt. On that island, you can encounter the relative of the desperate merchant, and as he said, you can find the ring. Because you are near the area, go to the Druid's Grove. You'll encounter a Hierophant, and by talking to him, you can get some information about Carmen's troubles. Still in the Grove, you can encounter Yevon once again. Depending on the decision you made from the quest Force Recon, you will be more than happy to see Geralt or be mad with him. Because we chose the other side, you will be mad at Geralt, but willing to give us work. He wants Geralt to help his friend in an elven ruin inside the sewers. Luckily enough, these are the same elven ruins that we talked about, and we got our Alp Fang.
I have a mission for you. One not entirely related to the struggle for freedom.
Yevon, cut to the chase.
We have learned that the ruins of an elven temple have been found in the sewers beneath Vizima. Not surprising given the city was erected on elven foundations. We think Lara Dora may have been there, and may have left something behind.
Who?
You will learn everything if you agree to help. I sent a unit there, but I fear something has gone wrong. I need you to find out what happened.
This starts Echoes of Yesterday. Be mindful of picking some full parsley leaves. You will need at least 5 of them for later. Go to the Golem's burial ground, where you fought the sentry last chapter. This is the location where you can find Voref, the wolf that the Royal Huntsman was talking about. And stay on alert because the swamp has new creatures. You can encounter drowners, drowned dead, and bloodswiggers like in the last chapter. But there are more terrifying ones lurking around. This chapter introduces Kikimora workers and Kikimora warriors. These spider-like monsters can come in a pact, with mostly 2 Kikimora workers for 1 Kikimora warrior. They can gang up the player with their fast attacks and their venom, making even experienced players get the better of them. One way to get the best of them is to level up your Igni sign and your strong silver talents, because they are weak to fire and because they have a lot of armor, they can get chipped down with a lot of ease with these tactics. You need at least 11 Kikimora claws, which are provided by killing Kikimora workers. The warriors do not have anything that is useful. Killing Voref and getting his head, you will start White Fang. If you are willing to do so, go fight around some Kikimora for their claws, because you get this out of the way. As you are near the burial ground, you can go directly to the Mage's Tower. Inside said tower, you can fight Kalkstein, who is studying everything that is there to explore around here. This will finally finish the questline that we started at the beginning of chapter 2. If you are set, you can go to the ferry landing of the swamp and go to the other side. Give the ring to the desperate merchant and this will finish the quest. Going to the area near the Airy Bear Inn, you can find Carmen and you can give an update on the situation. Going near the cloister, you will encounter Siegfried training some soldiers. When talking to him, you can ask for a job.
I'm wondering about the introduction of martial law. I must prepare my unit. I need other assistance, however.
With what?
People disappearing in the town cemetery. Go investigate.
Is there payment?
Certainly. Besides the order's gratitude.
This starts 6 feet under. You can now access the cemetery and even go to the trade quarter if you enter from the temple quarter side. In the middle of the cemetery, you will find a talking ghoul, Vatala.
Delicious. Ooh, where are my manners? Never seen a ghoul before?
Not one that talks.
I hate to boast, but I am exceptional. My kin prefer growling.
I found some human corpses.
Hey, not my work. I don't eat live ones. I'll tell you who's to blame if you spare my life.
You can either spare or kill the ghoul. This can be a moral decision because Geralt is known to kill monsters, but not the sentient ones. Vatala said he didn't kill humans, only eating the deceased ones. So this is an easy choice. I chose to spare it. Vatala does say that Geralt should look around near the crypt. Surely enough, you can find some Scoia'tael in the entrance of the crypt. You have another decision on hand. Go after Scoia'tael for endangering the innocents' lives, or saving the innocents. I chose to save the innocents. There will be a lot of ghouls and all ghouls. Dispatch them and get to the innocents. They will be thankful, so you can report to Siegfried, finishing the quest. If you go to the cemetery during nighttime, you'll encounter more monsters, such as flatters and graveyears. You'll need 3 flatter fangs and 4 graveyear bones to have the corresponding amount for the contracts. Don't forget that you need 12 portions of ghoul's blood, but probably you already have more than enough at this point. If your game time is between 12 PM and 1 PM, you can go outside the St. Lebioda's hospital, and near the gardener, there's a distressed nurse. She will complain about life and say that she isn't allowed in the cellar of her house. Accepting to help her will start medic in distress. You'll need to wait around 9 PM and go to her house near the antiquary. Going down the cellar, you'll encounter a flatter, defeat the vampire, and then you'll have to wait for noon of the following day. Talk once again with the distressed nurse and she will be very thankful, finishing the quest. Going to the trade quarter, you can deliver Vordev sets to the royal huntsman. By doing so, you will get your reward and as well as a bonus, because this is the 5th trophy that we deliver. Near Triss's house, there will be a woman dressed in red and white. If you talk with her and have an extra Kikimora claw on hand, you can give it to her as a form of seducing her. Giving the claw to her grants you the first romance card of the chapter and the 10th overall in the game. Going to the sewers, go near the Elven ruins where you defeated the Alp, and you will find a dwarf, the supposed friend of Yavin. Talk with him and you'll know that a Bruxa, another form of a vampire, is haunting the Elven ruin. You only need to defeat the Bruxa. However, this can be very hard because she can stunlock you with her screams and drain your blood to get some health back. After dealing with her, Yevon's man will talk to you, and Yevon will arrive via teleporter, asking Geralt to forget what has happened. This finishes the quest. Exit the sewers and go straight next door. You'll encounter a man saying that Geralt needs to leave the premises. This is in fact the father of Rosalind Pancaris, the lion's lover. There are many ways to allow Geralt to go upstairs, by either bribing him for 50 orens or fist fighting him. I chose the less diplomatic option. This doesn't affect any of the storyline including the quest, and you get to keep 50 orens. Go upstairs and talk with Rosalind. Try not to mess this up because you can miss on a romance card, and so if you succeed, you can get the second romance card in this chapter and 11th overall in the game. After having an interactive anatomy lesson with Rosalind, go to her trunk and get the loot. Now we will go place the sensors for Triss. In total, there are 3 sensors and well, 3 locations. One of them is in the trade quarter near the merchant square. Another is in the sort of Colosseum in the middle of the cemetery, and the last one is near the sewer entrance of the temple quarter. After placing them, make a beeline to Triss's house and talk with her. The source of the magical anomalies that have been happening in the city is located in St. Lebioda's hospital, and surprise, the source is Alvin. Before going there, Triss will give you the formula for the Vreeze extract. Using the teleporter and going to Kalkstein laboratory, setting foot on the temple quarter, Shani will be not very happy with the situation and will lecture Geralt about who should be the one who have custody of Alvin. This will be one of the most influential decisions that a player can make in the game. You can either choose Shani or choose Triss. If you choose one, of course, the other will not be able to be a romance option for Geralt. However, you can still think about this. Going to the hospital, you will encounter Dandelion. In a nutshell, Alvin was kidnapped by Salamandra bandits, and they took him to an abandoned house, but fortunately, Dandelion followed them to said house. Going inside the house, you will find some Salamandra assassins, and dealing with them you'll find Alvin. There will be a few more assassins, and now you have to decide to either leave Alvin with Triss or Shani. I chose Triss because Geralt and Triss have more of a connection than Geralt and Shani, and if we think logically, Alvin is related to the magical anomalies appearing in town, and who is better to teach him to control magic than the sorceresses? With the decision made, there will be more assassins to deal with. Now go to the trade quarter and to the new Narcot Inn to give that lion his loot. He will be thankful for this and will say that he will have a show in the inn at 8 PM, and this finishes the quest. Go to Triss's house and talk with her. She will be more than happy that you choose her as Alvin Guardian. However, she will know that Shani will be furious about this decision, so she requests that Geralt goes to her house to rip the band-aid off. Going to Shani's house, she will be furious about the whole situation and doesn't want to see Geralt's face anymore. Returning to Triss's house, she will say that she requests a silver ruby ring to make their relationship official. Then the lion will arrive and ask about the situation, and they will go to the inn to party with Zoltan. Coming back and with the ring in hand, Triss requires for us to take on a more parental role with Alvin by disciplining him. This is easy, just deny him one of his wishes. With this done, talk with Triss again, give her the ring and get the 3rd romance card of the chapter and 12th overall. This finishes the quest. Go to the town hall and go upstairs. There will be a clerk that you can try to know better. If you call her a naughty girl and have a diamond in hand, you will get to know each other better. This exchange will grant you the 4th romance card of the chapter and the 13th of the game. Go near the inn once again and talk with the armorer. If you have 5,000 orens, you can buy the excellent leather armor, which is a great upgrade to your defense, giving you a lot of resistances. This is it for today. In the next episode, I will try to conclude what is left in this chapter. Thank you so much for following this wonderful journey, and hope you are well. My name is Wedoo, this is everything you can do in The Witcher 1, and see you guys next time. Bye bye!